With those words, the monks walked into the horizon, laughing as they went. Once, in a distant village nestled in the heart of a vast and serene valley, there lived 3 monks whose names no one knew. They were simply referred to as the 3 laughing monks. Their purpose seemed enigmatic, yet their presence was unforgettable. They didn't preach, didn't perform miracles, and didn't demand anything. What set them apart was their unique method of teaching: laughter. Everywhere they went, the monks did nothing but laugh. Standing in the middle of markets, on temple steps, or at the edge of bustling streets, they would burst into uncontrollable laughter. Their joy was so infectious that people around them couldn't help but laugh along. Soon, entire villages were laughing without knowing why. One day, the monks arrived in a small village burdened by grief and struggle. The villagers were downtrodden, preoccupied with their problems, and weighed down by the monotony of life. As the monks entered, they stood in the middle of the village square, looked at each other, and began to laugh. Their laughter rang out like bells, clear and joyful. At first, the villagers simply stared. Some muttered complaints about the monks mocking their hardships. Others ignored them entirely. But the monks didn't stop. They laughed louder and harder. Slowly, one by one, the villagers began to smile. A few chuckles emerged, followed by bursts of laughter. Before long, the entire square was filled with laughter so intense that it felt as if the burdens of life had melted away, even if only for a moment. The monks stayed in the village for a week, spreading their infectious laughter. As they laughed, people began to approach them with questions. Why do you laugh so much? What's the purpose of your joy? Don't you face struggles like the rest of us? But the monks only laughed in response, refusing to answer in words. They communicated solely through their joy, leaving the villagers to interpret the meaning. One evening, the monks stood in the square for what the villagers thought was their final gathering. But instead of the usual trio of laughter, only 2 monks began laughing, while the third remained silent, his face serene. The villagers were shocked. "What's wrong with the third monk?" someone asked. The 2 laughing monks simply pointed to their silent companion and laughed harder. It was then that the villagers noticed the third monk had passed away, sitting peacefully with a smile on his face. The villagers were distraught, unsure how to react. They asked the remaining monks if they should prepare a solemn funeral. The monks only laughed and replied, "He wouldn't have wanted tears. He's laughing with us even now." As the villagers prepared for the funeral, they noticed something extraordinary. The deceased monk had left behind a note in his robe. It read, "Death is not the end, but the final joke of life. Laugh at it, and you conquer it." Inspired by the message, the villagers carried out the funeral with joy rather than sorrow. Laughter echoed through the valley as they celebrated the monk's life and teachings. It was a sight the village had never seen before: grief transformed into gratitude, sorrow into joy. Transformation of the village after the funeral. The 2 monks stayed a few more days. Their laughter became a symbol of resilience and freedom for the villagers. Slowly, the village transformed. Disputes became rare. People began helping each other selflessly, and the once heavy air of the village turned light and joyful. Before leaving, the monks finally spoke for the first time. One of them said, "Life is fleeting, like a breeze. You can spend it crying or laughing. The choice is yours." Laughter doesn't ignore suffering, it transcends it. Carry this laughter in your hearts, and you'll find joy in all things. With those words, the monks walked into the horizon, laughing as they went. The legacy of the 3 laughing monks. The story of the 3 laughing monks became legendary. Generations of villagers passed down the tale, and the once sorrowful village became known as the Village of Joy. People traveled from far and wide to learn the lesson of laughter and life's fleeting nature. The monks' legacy taught a profound truth. Life is unpredictable, filled with joys and sorrows alike. But by embracing laughter, one could rise above the pain and see the beauty in every moment. The 3 laughing monks taught without words, proving that the simplest of actions can carry the deepest wisdom. Their laughter reminded everyone that joy doesn't come from perfect circumstances, but from within a choice to live fully, laugh deeply, and embrace life's impermanence. And so, the monks' message lives on. Laugh, even when life seems unbearable. For in laughter, we find freedom, courage, and the ultimate celebration of life itself.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of mindfulness and serenity. If you'd like to stay connected and receive more updates, please subscribe to our channel. Peace and tranquility await.